distinguished dignitaries, eminent personalities from around the globe, honorable members of parliament, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to all of you joining from various parts of the world. We are extremely delighted to welcome you all to the inaugural ceremony of the 15th Global Energy Parliament organized by the Isha Vishwa Pragnana Trust, an international organization holding consultative status with the United Nations ECOSOC. The present session of the Global Energy Parliament is organized on the theme Inner Heat, Outer Heat, the emotional climate shaping our world. Our mission is to provide recommendations and strategies backed by scientific research with the objective of ensuring a self sustaining and peaceful existence for human beings and the universe. And I'm Rohini M. Jayachandran, your MC for today. To begin this historic event on a note of serenity and inner alignment, may I request Ms. Susan Sealing to lead us in the invocation, a prayer composed by His Holiness Jagadguru Swami Isha on the bliss of total consciousness.
While expanding, I become the universe. Universe receding becomes I. Neither expanding nor receding, I am total consciousness. I am total consciousness. Total consciousness.
Thank you. We all feel truly blessed. To formally begin today's proceedings, may I invite the Secretary of the Global Energy Parliament, Dr. M.R. Thampan, to deliver the welcome address. Sir, please.
My warm pranam to His Holiness Jagadguru Swami Isha, our distinguished guests, this Gokhool, the Honorable President of Mauritius, and Dr. C.V. Ananda Bose, Honorable President, Honorable Governor of West Bengal, our Honorable Speaker, Padma Sri Kiran, Vyas, eminent ministers, and honorable members of the Parliament. At the very outset, let me extend my hearty welcome to you all to the 15th session of Global Energy Parliament. The prayer song sung by Susanna Sealy. It was written and composed by Swamiji. Of course, Swamiji is a highly esteemed, enlightened spiritual leader. At the same time, Swamiji is a social reformer, educator, and poet, and embodiment of these laws, grace, and wisdom. Today, in this session, this theme is the subject is the inner heat, outer heat, emotional shaping the world. Of course, we are going to discuss about the balancing of these two heats. The inner heats mean the thoughts in our mind, the heat in our mind. The outer heats means the heat in the nature. Let me say a few words as a prologue about Swamiji and the Isha Vishwa Pragnana Trust. As you are aware, Swamiji is the founder of Isha Vichyaprajnan Trust, Global Energy Parliament, Isha Vichyavidyalaya. This is a CBSE syllabus school implementing the theories of Swamiji on education in this school. And Swamiji combines the science with the spirituality to opening a new path for the welfare and for the wellness of the humanity. Swamiji gives more importance to education because education is the base of all kinds of development. According to Swamiji, the integration of the subject study and object study is essential for the educational system. The philosophy of Swamiji is that this the universe, the human being is the mini universe. Only by knowing this truth, one can love the universe and the nature. Now, let me say a few words about this Global Energy Parliament. The Global Energy Parliament is the only open forum for academicians, for the teachers and the scientists to discuss the crucial problems facing the humanity and to find out solutions. In every year, we are assembling and finding some solutions for the critical problems and sending these findings to all heads of departments and the United Nations and such other international organs also. Of course, as you are aware, this Global Energy Parliament started in 2010 in Toronto. And continuing, these sessions were held at Germany, Paris, London, Geneva, Spain, Thailand, Sri Lanka, and Kolkata. In this session also, we are discussing about the theme, as you said earlier. Now, let me extend the welcome to you all. Our distinguished guest is Dharambeer Gokhool. His Excellency is the President of Mauritius. He's an efficient administrator and an orator. I extend a hearty welcome to Gokhool on behalf of the Global Energy Parliament at this August audience. Now, Dr. C.V. Ananda Bose, as you are aware, he is not a guest. He is part and parcel of this Global Energy Parliament. He is our former speaker and he is a model speaker and a silver-tongued orator and efficient administrator. Above all, he is a writer. He authored more than nearly 100 books in English, Hindi, and Malayalam, covering all branches of the creative literature and literature of knowledge. He is known as the man of ideas and the Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi, the former Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, the former presidents, Dr. Shankar Dayal Sharma, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, and Dr. Subramaniam. They were appreciated his innovations and contributions, not taking much time for my speech. I extend hearty and warm welcome to Dr. C.V. and the Bose on behalf of you all and this august audience. Then our honorable speaker is here, Padma Shri, Dr. Kiran Vyas is our speaker. He is the chairperson of the Kolkata Taj Bhavan chair also. I welcome our honorable speaker, Dr. Kiran Vyas, on behalf of this Prajnan Trust. Now, eminent members, and I welcome the eminent members and the honorable members of this parliament, hoping that this venture will become a grand success with the blessings of Swamiji. Let me conclude my words. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for the warm and thoughtful welcome. To give us an overview of the Global Energy Parliament, its vision, mission, and scope, May I cordially invite Ms. Mira, GEP Coordinator.
Pranams to His Holiness Jagadguru Swami Isha. Your Excellency, the President of Mauritius, Mr. Dharambeer, Gokhool. Your Excellency, the Governor of West Bengal, Dr. C.V. Ananda Bose. Honorable Speaker of the Parliament, Dr. Kiran, Vyas. Secretary, Dr. M.R. Thampan. Minister, Dr. Christophe, Dumas. Members of Parliament. It is an honor to be addressing this august assembly on behalf of the organizing team. We are gathered for the historical 15th annual session of the Global Energy Parliament. Your presence alone demonstrates that what we all share is a deep concern for and a deep commitment to the future of mankind in the world. His Holiness Jagadguru Swami Isha leads us towards a more scientifically grounded vision of our future. Swamiji knows that the advances of science since the age of enlightenment have completely changed human life and our attempt to know more about the universe, its creator, and its laws. Yet, according to Swamiji, this knowledge about the physical universe is only half of the truth. The other half is the entire universe residing within us, and which we sadly know so little about. Swamiji himself embarked on a quest to not only understand, but to experience the entirety of truth, traversing through the greatest hardships known to man, seeking the truth through years of meditation on the icy peaks of the Himalayas and the caves in dense jungles. Refining his human equipment, he was able to attain the fullest enlightenment and reach beyond it, coming back to us with a message. The message is this: to know truth, you need unity. Unity of yourself and the world around you. Unity of vibration and non-vibration. Unity of science and spirituality. Many other great masters have walked the earth and perceived the truth in a similar manner, amazing and yet possible. But where we find that Swamiji distinguishes himself from other Swamis, other monks, other spiritual leaders, is in the fact that he has shed all of the trappings of religion. He shocks us by speaking about energy and consciousness, quanta and quarks, frequencies and wavelengths. But here's a Swamiji who is so sweetly and humbly and simply, he will definitely challenge us. He wants us all to know, to realize that we are the makers of this reality which we perceive. The balance of the world depends on all of us, not a god or gods in a faraway heaven, not some of us, but all of us. And that is why nearly 30 years ago, he saw the necessity of a new way of organizing ourselves and a new way of making decisions, a new approach to knowledge that would indeed help us to make better decisions in the future. And 15 years ago, we organized the first Global Energy Parliament. We started with the theme of education, which has been a constant current throughout. Swami's vision of the education system that integrates objective and subjective knowledge was debated and discussed, and finally, a detailed global policy of education for total consciousness was submitted to every ministry of education around the world. Many governments have already begun to take up parts of it, and we see it reflected in the National Education Policy of India also. Other sessions of Parliament were held on pathways to sustainable health in Dresden, the science of sound in Paris, sustainable economy in London, peace in Geneva, good governance in Madrid, habitat harmony in Colombo, living in harmony with nature in Thailand, and other sessions in India and online, including humane digitalization, science and faith, and the science of thought. Every year, our Secretariat sends your recommendations to all nations around the world. Before GEP 2010, nobody had heard of the I theory or the I particle. Eminent atomic scientists participated, paid their respects, but laughed a little bit at the idea of energy having quality. They said, no, energy has only quantity. And yet, only a few years after that, those same scientists became spokespersons for the GEP. And it is quite commonplace nowadays to hear people talking about positive energy and negative energy. It has seeped so far into the culture that we are not aware of where it came from and the science behind it. And our members of parliament have let it sink in the furthest. Some of them cannot conceive of making a decision without knowing the energy planes concerned. Is it dominated by positive or negative energy? And what measures are necessary to bring it back into balance? This is the only thing they want to know, need to know. The seeds of change have been planted. Energy awareness is here to stay. The science which proceeds through atoms to quanta to the basic unit of vibration and its ultimate stillness is coming hand in hand with the faith that speaks about Sat Chit Ananda, the Supreme Absolute, Nirvana, and God Almighty. This is the main achievement of GEP in the last 15 years. It is silent and deep work at the root of human knowledge. And with Swamiji at the front of this movement, we are sure to be treading towards a new dawn of humanity. Today, we have persons from 20 nations joining us. And with great honor, we are welcoming a head of state and a governor of state. And in the years to come, I pray we shall have every nation joining us and their own national and local energy parliaments. With this, I conclude. I wish all of you a very happy and meaningful 2 days of Parliament. Thank you.
Thank you for that insightful overview, Miraji. Ladies and gentlemen, some leaders govern institutions, while others shape values and inspire generations. We are deeply honored today to be addressed by a statesman whose life reflects a rare synthesis of academic excellence, ethical leadership, and public service. His Excellency, Mr. Dharambeer Gokhool, President of the Republic of Mauritius, has dedicated his life to education, governance, and social betterment. His journey from academia to the highest constitutional office stands as a testament to leadership guided by wisdom and conscience. It is also important for us to acknowledge that His Excellency's gracious presence at this Parliament is the result of the sustained efforts and goodwill of Professor Arumugam Parashuraman, former Minister of Education of Mauritius, who has been a steadfast supporter of the Global Energy Parliament and its vision over the years. We place on record our deep appreciation for his continued association and support. With great respect, we cordially invite His Excellency Mr. Dharambeer Gokhool, President of the Republic of Mauritius, to deliver the presidential inaugural address. Your Excellency, please.
Excellencies, honorable members of Parliament, His Holiness Jagadguru Swami Isa, founder, Global Energy Foundation, Parliament, distinguished scholars, scientists, participants from around the world, Secretary General of GEP, Coordinator of GEP, ladies and gentlemen from the Republic of Mauritius, Namaskar, Bon après-midi, and good afternoon. It is indeed an honor and privilege to join you for the 15th session of Global Energy Parliament. At the very outset, let me thank and congratulate the Isa Vishwapragyana Trust, its founder, His Holiness Jagadguru Swami Isa, and the organizers and well-wishers for convening this important forum under the aegis of GEP. The GEP enshrines a great human philosophy. Service to mankind is service to God. Manav jati ki sewa hi Ishwar ki sewa hai. As a former academic and Minister of Education, I also extend my deep appreciation to all distinguished resource persons, participants for sustaining this space where science, policy, and human consciousness converge to advance sustainable development, societal resilience, and ethical responsibility combined with human well-being. Ladies and gentlemen, this initiative is a major step in the global efforts in restoring emotional and environmental balance, the balance between inner heat and outer heat. Ladies and gentlemen, scientific evidence continues to indicate the urgency of environmental and societal challenges facing our planet. The COP30 held in Belém recently, Brazil, highlighted both progress and persistent divisions and deficits, while the Mutirao decision established a 2-year program on climate finance and the Gender Action Plan was adopted. Disputes, as you are aware, remain over fossil fuel limits and transitions, adaptation finance, and indicators. Of 88 countries advocating for a roadmap away from fossil fuels, no concrete timeline was agreed, and adaptation finance, though targeted to triple by 2035, faces delays. According to the UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, gap remains dangerously wide. He noted that despite progress, the gap between current action and scientific demands to limit warming to 1.5 degrees is still dangerously large, a point emphasized by the likely overshoot of the target. It is therefore clear that environmental pressures will continue to escalate, and by 2050, nearly 1,000 cities will face average summer high of 35 degrees, exposing 1.6 billion people to extreme heat and disastrous human consequences. Equally urgent is the rise of inner heat, which represents the social, psychological, and emotional turmoil that people are undergoing. Mental health challenges that people are facing are accelerating worldwide. Anxiety, depression affect over 350 million people, while stress-related disorders are increasing approximately by 13% each year. Aggressive social behaviors, violence, homicides, suicides, especially among our youth, with a horrible live streaming of cases on social media, acts of terrorism, confrontations and wars between nations, with loss of lives and extreme sufferings and traumas are all indicative of emotional disharmony, degradation, and distress, an unprecedented and dangerous imbalance between people and our planet. Ladies and gentlemen, we therefore stand at the historic crossroad, both for our planet and humanity. The scientific community has long warned us of the consequences of this ecological and emotional, psychological, and societal imbalance. A heated planet combined with increasing social and emotional deterioration, the inner heat, among the population, especially among our younger generation, poses risks not only to security and development, but to the coherence of our social fabric and the moral compass of humanity and its very future. Ladies and gentlemen, besides the growing imbalance between the outer heat and the inner heat, another big challenge that humanity will have to deal with is climate misinformation and the need to establish information credibility and integrity about climate urgency. At COP30 agenda, for the first time, President Lula da Silva called for action against climate change deniers, stating that we live in a time when obscurantists reject scientific evidence and attack institutions. It is time to deal another defeat to denial, and describing COP30 as the cup of truth in an era of fake news and misinformation. In this context, the Declaration of Climate Change Information Integrity was presented to the COP30 as a new initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, it is therefore fitting that this year's GEP theme, Inner Heat, Outer Heat, the emotional climate shaping our world, addresses the inseparable link between human well-being and planetary stability from a science and evidence-based perspective. As President of the Republic of Mauritius, I shall be very attentive to the deliberations of GEP, and as a human being and a lover of nature, I shall convey to government your proposals and recommendations for appropriate actions. Ladies and gentlemen, as a small island developing state, Mauritius is not immune to these pressing global challenges. Apart from rising temperatures and sea levels, severe floods and cyclones, ocean and soil acidification, deoxygenation, and severe loss of biodiversity, there are many more challenges that threaten our ecosystems, economy, and social cohesion. Mauritius is more than its sea, sand, and shores. It is its people. Approximately 100,000 individuals across the island, out of a population of 1.3 million, experience mental health or substance use disorders. Our prisons reflect similar pressures. Nearly half of detainees aged 18 to 30, over 60%, inhibit chemical dependencies, and both inmates and officers show disproportionately high rates of mental illness. There is an increase of violent incidents among prisoners. There is a growing level of stress and tensions in the population. These statistics illustrate the convergence of environmental vulnerability and emotional stress, directly affecting our national well-being and resilience. It also impacts on the happiness and well-being of our population. We must also acknowledge the emotional impact of rapid social transformation, urbanization, digital exposure, shifting family structures, and rising expectations among our youth. These forces, while signs of progress, also create pressure points that require compassionate and strategic national responses. Ladies and gentlemen, as President of the Republic, my foremost responsibilities are the well-being of our people, consolidating national unity, and protecting our territories. Mauritius is fully convinced that only when its people are healthy in mind, body, and spirit can a nation thrive. Coordinated, evidence-based, and holistic responses are therefore imperative and are being undertaken. Our government program 2025-2029, which I presented in January this year in our National Assembly, sets out a bold roadmap for sustainable development, social cohesion, and digital and health resilience. Complementing this initiative, a constitutional review commission is already underway to strengthen and modernize frameworks that guarantee the well-being, rights, and freedoms of citizens, while reinforcing both individual and collective responsibility. We believe that rights and responsibilities must go together for citizens to be caring, responsible, and respectful towards each other's and our planet. To address these pressing challenges, other measures that form part of our integrated approach includes, and I shall name only a couple of them, meditation, mindfulness, and community well-being programs are being implemented through public-private partnerships and civil society engagement. The forthcoming Ayush Center of Excellence, funded by India, will provide access to Ayurveda, yoga, Unani, Siddha, and homeopathy alongside capacity building for local practitioners, reinforcing Mauritius' commitment to preventive, holistic, and evidence-based healthcare. The Mauritius Prison Service is reforming and adopting a restorative justice model. We are adopting legislation for digital safety and responsible AI. At the international level, Mauritius actively engages with partners across India, Africa, and European Union on climate adaptation, renewable energy, health initiative, and digital resilience, encompassing knowledge exchange, technical assistance, and capacity building programs. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also working closely with multilateral organizations to mobilize climate finance, strengthen ocean governance, and promote South-South cooperation, ensuring that small island developing states are not left behind. These measures demonstrate that emotional resilience, physical health, and climate adaptation, mutually reinforcing priorities, underpinning national and regional stability, remain a priority. It is time to develop among our citizens a human-centric and planet-centric culture, starting with our children and youth. As President, I stand above partisan lines, and I have a moral duty to call for national introspection, to encourage dialogue, compassion, and the cultivation of values that promote peace and harmony. In the face of rising tensions, regionally and globally, the ability to any nation to preserve peace lies fundamentally in the emotional and environmental balance throughout the world. I appeal to all leaders to join hands and promote this GEP international initiative and recalibrate and rebalance the inner heat and the outer heat. Mauritius recognizes that no nation can confront these challenges in isolation. Multi-sectoral collaboration among government agencies, healthcare providers, educators, civil society, and international partners remains critical. It is therefore imperative that we pursue these initiatives hand in hand as one people, one nation, and one humanity in a spirit of Vasudevya Kutumbakam. The whole world is one family, upholding the twin imperatives of human well-being and long-term planetary sustainability. Let us remember that strength of a nation lies not only in its institutions, but in the calmness of its people, the clarity of its vision, and the compassion it shows to the most vulnerable. On this realistic and optimistic note, I wish the GEP fruitful deliberations. I have no doubt that this year's gathering will illuminate practical pathways, inspire decisive action, and strengthen resilience, equity, and our shared responsibility to nurture life and protect our planet. Thank you for your attention. Namaste.
Your Excellency, thank you for your inspiring words of wisdom, for your utmost support, and for gracing this occasion with your presence. We are truly, truly honored. Ladies and gentlemen, the Global Energy Parliament stands on a vision that unites science, consciousness, and responsibility. It is now my honor to invite the founder of the Global Energy Parliament, the Isha Vishwa Pragnana Trust, the Isha Vishwa Vidyalayam School, and the Ishalayam Ashram. The visionary who developed the I theory and the educational methodology, education for total consciousness. May I invite His Holiness Jagadguru Swami Isha to deliver the founder's address. Swamiji.
Hari Om. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Paramatmani. Om. His Excellency and dearest members of Global Energy Parliament. Now, Swami want to discuss academical way of interaction. This is a family. This is a family gathering. We want to share some thoughts and emotion for getting more peace and happiness. How to get? Today's topic, inner and outer heat. Heat can able to provide happiness. The same way unhappiness. Just we want to think. So means each and every word, the byproduct of fire, heat. Is it true? Yes. How it is possible to feel and experience? Is it possible? Yes. Now we can share our thoughts. It is a family. There's a courtyard we are sitting. This is a parliament. Global citizens, father, mother, grandfather, grandchildren, all of them sitting together and discussing about our own self means the global peace and happiness. We are thinking how to get day by day peace and happiness become worse and worse. How we can able to attain the happiness. His Excellency already explained what are the problems he is facing. He delivered a lecture. Very not only information, but also we want to think with the heart. That's a very important thing. For that, we can share our thoughts and emotion without any barrier. Okay? Leave all the barriers. Now we are inside the net house. We are inside and sitting and sharing our thoughts and emotion. Are you happy? Yes or no? Please, please. Are you happy?
Yes.
Okay, okay. We want to start with the happiness. Okay. Please show your hands, both hands. Please. This class is physically we want to involve, mentally, intellectually, in all sense we want to interact. This is our hands. Easy. Just gently you touch your hand left and they say right. You can feel smooth touch. Is it? Now our body temperature normally 27 degree temperature. That's why the Swami is sitting this way. You are all of them sitting. We can interact. Okay? This is a heat. How much? 37 degrees Celsius. This body heat. The lively human being, the living being, especially human being, interacting with 37 degrees Celsius. The same hand, you just rub. Please, hand is, the heat is increasing. Okay? Then clap. Then laugh. Then, yeah, the body become live and heat, warm up. The same way, when you are laughing, that time, our thought and emotion just lifting to the higher purity level. Actually, this is the, when you are action, this friction is a high frequency. The same time you are laughing, ha 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 ha. This is a low frequency. The wavelength is high. Here wavelength is less heat, the body heat, but both together going to balance. That's why the reason we feel happiness. The entire universe, mere vibration. Just like our body is a byproduct of heat or fire. The living beings and non-living beings made up of 5 elements. We are the byproduct of 5 elements. Earth or solid, water or liquid, fire, air and space. 5 elements. This body, this gross body is the byproduct of gross 5 matters. These 5 elements, gross element, this gross body. Inside this gross body, always flowing liquid body also. This shape because of the gross body. Inside the body, there is a water body also. Blood and all the water body is always moving, interacting. Inside that water body, there is a fire body is there. Heat and light always emitting, interacting. Then gas body also, force body also, air body also inside. Within, inside and outside, these 4 elements, the space also be there. 5 elements. We are the byproduct of 5 elements. Solid, liquid. Middle element is fire. Fire means heat and light. Please remember this. then fourth is air, fifth is space. This knowledge is very important. Without these 5 elements knowledge, our study become incomplete, because entire universe made up of these 5 elements in various stages also. All the stages determine based on heat. Heat is change, stage going to change. This is a patting. We feel soothing effect. The same hand is beating. Heat is going to change. That become pain. Happy heat become unhappy heat. The heat can make happiness and unhappiness, physical happiness and unhappiness. The same way, emotional or mental happiness and unhappiness. Mind means totality of emotion. Please remember, mind means totality of emotion. What are the chemical reaction is going on? That totality of chemical reaction, that's called mind. Don't forget. All the mind, the chemical reactions are process. We need digital end. Our number is necessary. Means information is necessary. Without information, here is no chemistry. Without chemistry, there is no information. The chemistry and information always together. Information called digit, number. 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen become 1 water molecule. If you want to develop water molecule, we need 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. This digit is necessary. This digit, when it is become chemistry, atom become molecule. The atom become molecule. Atom heat become molecule heat. The average atom heat become molecule heat. Actually, this heat means atom not in a static stage, always vibrating. Atom, electron is vibrating, proton is vibrating, neutron is vibrating. All these ends are vibrating. Nucleus always vibrating. Means atom is a totality of vibration. This average vibration called atom heat. The same way, these 3 atoms average heat become, after the chemical change, that water molecule, that is water heat or fire. The molecule stage also because of heat. Heat is changing. Molecule potential energy become kinetic energy. Another form is changing. So giving and taking. When it is inside, that is potential. Friction or fusion, any interaction, thermal or any interaction, this is going to release. Potential become kinetic. Kinetic become potential. Actually, this change, this interaction called chemistry. That chemistry in subjective plane we are using the word that is mind. In physical, as a human being, the body and mind. Without chemistry, there is no this such body. This body existing because of this chemistry. Always this chemistry is going on. Single cell, just in a bacteria, 3,000 protein chemistry is going on. Just to think about. This way, all the existence because of the chemistry. Chemistry is changing, digit is changing. Digit is changing, chemistry is changing. It is a continuous process. Because the heat is changing, always changing. One plane to another plane means heat is giving the force for moving. Without heat, nothing going to exist. Temperature means average energy of vibration. Vibration. This is a normal above zero temperature and below zero temperature, minus temperature and plus temperature. Minus also temperature. Without temperature, here is no minus. Without temperature, here is no plus. When you are laughing, because of heat. When you are crying, because of heat. When you are shouting, because of heat. When you are meditating, because of heat. When you reach the contemplation, because of heat. Without heat, nothing is impossible. Because the body, because of heat. This emotion, because of heat. All the information, total information, we called that is intellect. Individual, that information called intellect. Our body, mind and intellect. All these are existing because of heat. Wherever the friction, there is a heat. This body, byproduct of molecule heat. This molecule heat because of atomic heat. Atomic heat because of subatomic heat. Subatomic heat because of core heat. Up and down, stranger, all. That is the core heat. Core heat because of quantum heat. Now we can able to analyze from the molecule to the quantum plane. All the stages because of heat. But unfortunately, we are facing big challenge. We have the mind, we doesn't know what it is mind. We have intellect, but we doesn't know what it is. If you want to go in depth of mind and intellect, definitely we must go through I theory, because I theory can only explain about quantum strangeness. What are the things we are saying? It's a strange phenomena, the quantum phenomena. If you want to know actually what it is quantum. Large Hadron Collider created Big Bang explosion, or the how the universe begin, big collision. proton collide, creating 5 trillion temperature. This is creating. You think about it. That's the temperature. That's heat. That cork gluon plasma. Please just remember cork gluon plasma. Proton collide, release cork in the form of gluon plasma stage, just like a semi-solid form. Just think about it. This gluon plasma also, that stage because of heat. If you want to know about core and quantum, if you want to know, you want to break the cork. No, we already break the cork. We want to break quantum. Quantum is just like in a bag filled with basic unit of vibration. When we can able to separate gluon, cork, we can separate, and that cork shell break full of quantum. When we can break that quantum, then only you can able to see I particle. I particle inside the quantum. That's very important. When we can able to reach the I particle, then only we can able to understand about our mind and intellect. Because all the present scientific contribution, all the equipments developed, all the dictators based on gross and subtle plane devices. All the devices we can study gross action and reactions, the subtle plane action and reactions. The mind and intellect not only based gross and subtle. The real existence based on causal plane. That is I particle. I particle the causal plane. Quantum to atom, that is subtle plane. Molecule to entire thing, that is a causal plane. The gross world byproduct of molecule. Causal world byproduct of quantum to atom. Beyond, if we can able to travel, then only we can able to reach causal plane. This is a awakening stage. Swami is interacting, you are also interacting. Listening and thinking. Sometimes you are like, something you not like. Your mind is always exchanging the heat also. So many ways, so many ranges is changes is going on. This mind, the gross mind interaction and gross intellect interaction. The same time, subtle mind and intellectual interaction, that's called subtle plane, or the imagination, all the mental calculations, everything in subtle plane. When you are enjoying the dream, that is subtle plane. The same person just entering inside the dream stage, you forget everything. I don't know, slept well. I don't know about gross and subtle world. Now I aware about subtle world. That time I is there. Sleeping process is there. Unawareness of other interactions. The same time enjoying, because no other disturbance, gross and subtle disturbance already stopped. That's why the reason I am be happy. Slept well. I is there, happiness is there. Because of I have no connection with external, subtle and gross interaction. That's why the reason I slept well. Awakening stage based on heat. Dream stage based on heat. Deep sleep also based on heat. Without heat, there is no three stages. Usually we are traveling awakening, sleep, awakening stage, sleep stage, and dream stage and sleep stage. This coming good. This circle only. If you want to know about actually what it is sleep, that time we can able to know about I. I is there. I slept. As an individual, as a human being. Most of the people asking, Swami, why you are giving this name is I particle? Yeah, this is a subjective entity, a reality. That is called I vibration. Self and universe. 5 element based universe because of this I vibration. Without this I vibration, I have no entity. That I, knowledge, there is one. Sleeping time, there is only one. All the numbers already stopped. Self become one. That self called I. That I is vibration. That vibration. Without any effort, how we can able to aware about the I particle? When you going to sleep, when you enjoying the sleep, yeah, you are without knowledge, you are entering inside the I particle energy plane. The same self, then subtle house, then gross house. One house to another house. Sometimes all the house we are opening. Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti. This one place to another place we are traveling. Now we are thinking this world, present environment and present living situation, earth and universe, can you be able to remain as it is? Because tremendously heat is changing. Internal heat and external heat. Heat change, chemistry going to change? Chemistry is changing. Information number also going to, digit also going to change. All the structure, stages are going to change. We need sustainable world. So we not at all going to explain detail about scientific data. Our science and technology minister going to explain all these things very detailed way. Now Swami is, before concluding, only few thoughts only. Swami, when you are smiling and laughing, that vibration lead to long wavelength vibration plane, energy vibration plane. That's why the reason you feel happy and coolness. Your body become calm, your mind become calm, your intellect also become calm. All three bodies become calm, you are also become calm. You feel happiness also. You are enjoying. The same person, Swami, use a harsh word. What going to happen? You got angry. That time your temperature is changed. That frequency become high frequency. The thought based on the mortal plane, the gross plane, the high frequency plane, dark matter going to dominate. That's why the reason. When high frequency, our heartbeat is, when you are taking ECG, electrocardiogram, this is only very clearly explaining the low frequency and high frequency and balance frequency. Every individual needs the balance stage. But unfortunately, most of the reasons, so many reasons, we are not maintaining the balance stage. That imbalance we called disease. That is unhappiness. If you want to be happy, at least you can, knowingly we can tune your vibration, balance stage. Heat for that. In depth of the knowledge of the body, mind and intellect, ego and ignorance, all the inner parts, if you can able to study about heat, everything going to really reveal. No doubt. The same way, external scientific journey also, all the research, finding the data, all the data based on heat. Heat, how to change molecule, atom, subatomic particle, quark and quantum. What are the changes is happening? Is positive impact or negative impact? All are expecting happiness. For that we need balance. So we not want to extend Swami's talk, because coming the sections very deeply and scientifically discussing about each and every aspect. For a smooth and happy journey for this parliament section, this knowledge is very important. We are the byproduct of heat. Means we are the byproduct of vibration. We are the byproduct of basic vibration. From the basic vibration of I to this plane, when we can able to correlate Then only you can able to understand about self and universe. Swami's talk, Swami's words is a fire. You are listening with the fire. Without this heat, there is no entity, no interaction. In the name of soothing fire, Swami inviting all the members, the family, please together, sit together, think together, share together how to maintain balance for self-happiness and universal happiness. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. If you want peaceful world, you must aware about basic vibration, heat knowledge is necessary. When the heat is changed, all the balance going to ruin. We need balanced self, balanced world. For that, think about high frequency, high heat, and high heat is my heat. My heat is my happiness. Without my happiness, I can share happiness. My unhappiness also my heat. The whole heat, these all eyes become together. That is universal unhappiness. Universal unhappiness and self-unhappiness based on this heat. Without heat, there is no entity. This knowledge only now Swami sharing. Swami think you get some insight about heat. Thank you. Thank you all of them. Namaste.
Thank you, Swamiji, for your profound wisdom and vision for humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, there are leaders whose lives reflect not just the positions they hold, but the breadth of ideas they embody, the depth of service they commit to, and the vision they share for humanity. Today, we are honored to be addressed by one such leader, a seasoned administrator, a thinker, an innovator, and an author whose contributions span governance, education, public service, and human development. Every institution is shaped by certain voices, voices that don't just speak but illuminate, voices that don't just guide but transform. This parliament has been fortunate to be shaped by such a voice, a statesman whose clarity of thought brings direction, whose governance inspires confidence, and whose words carry the rare combination of wisdom, courage, and compassion. It is with great respect and deep admiration that I invite His Excellency Dr. C.V. Ananda Bose, Honorable Governor of West Bengal and former Speaker of the Global Energy Parliament, to inaugurate this session and share his inspiring reflections with us. Your Excellency, please.
Thank you. His Excellency Dharambeer Gokhool, Honorable President of Mauritius, most revered His Holiness Jagadguru Swami Isha, my friend Dr. S. Somnath, Sri Thampan, Sri Shankar, Lady Karla, our very own dear Mira, and members, the honorable members of the Global Energy Parliament. For me, coming to GEP is like homecoming. I'm particularly happy today to share this platform the Honorable President of our friendly country, Mauritius, who has been here to inaugurate the GEP of this year. My association with GEP has been for a long, long time, maybe for since my association started with Honorable Jagadguru Swami Isha. For me, what GEP is doing to the whole world is something which is unparalleled in history. Recently, I had the good fortune of bringing to GEP the Education Minister of the Government of India. After listening to the lectures given by His Holiness about various aspects of education for total consciousness, I think there has been a sea change in the attitude of the minister as he has understood, discovered something new in the field of education. The other day, I had an occasion to speak on Sri Aurobindo. Sri Aurobindo is a thinker, a philosopher, a spiritual leader, and of course he was a revolutionary at one time. Aurobindo is also a person who lays more emphasis on the inner world than the outer world. This is precisely what Swamiji has been teaching us. Take care of the inner world, the outer world will take care of itself. That is why at one point of time, I had the good fortune to refer to His Holiness Jagadguru Swami Isha as the astronaut of the inner space. Yes, we have to turn back to our mind. The mind is its own place, as Milton says. The mind is its own place, and in itself can make a hell of heaven or a heaven of hell, which is very true. When Swamiji speaks of education's two aspects, the subjective and the objective, this is what precisely he means. There is an inner world, there is an outer world. We think the outer world is more important. Actually, it is the inner world which is important. This is a train of thought which Swami Isha gives to us. This is the same thought which Sri Aurobindo tried to give in his own way, particularly in his epic, the Savitri. Now, when we come to the mind, you see, everything in the world is born twice. First in the mind, then in the field. Every idea has to be first born in the mind. And in the Bible it is said, in the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God. The Word was God. Which means God had a feeling, had a vision in his mind of how the world, what the world should be. God said, let there be light, and light there was. Which means God had an idea in his mind, a vision in his mind, what light is, what darkness is, what human being is. This inner world is certainly very, very important. When Jagadguru Swami Isha speaks of the inner world, when Sri Aurobindo speaks of the inner world, they use different language, but the thought is the same. This is precisely the quintessence of what we read in the Bhagavad Gita. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Om Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre. Simple question. Lion King Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjaya, Om Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre. Samaveda Yutsava. Mamaga Pandavaschaiva. Kimakurvata Sanjaya. Simple question. The king asked the question, in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, what are my sons and Pandu's sons doing? Very simple question. But the answer to that is given by Lord Krishna. That sums up the entire mysteries of the universe, the secrets of life and death, life after death. It is said, our body is nothing. Only for the objective knowledge we feel the body is important, not for the subjective world. The body is the outer world. The inner world is soul. Body is transient, momentary. Body dies, body decays. But the Atma or the soul does not die. That is the inside knowledge, The soul is permanent. It is said that, Yadasya Dhruva Mrityum, Dhruvam Janma Pradasya, Tasmad Apariharyarte, Natvam Sojitam Arkasi, which means those who are born will die. Those who die will be reborn. So why fret about them if all things or which you are in your control? Isn't it the same thing which is said in Rubaiyat by Omar Khayyam? Yes. One Gita is based on spiritualism. Rubaiyat is based on materialism. But both of them come to the same conclusion. Unborn tomorrows, dead yesterdays. Why fret about them if today be the sweet? Two different ways of philosophy, but converges in the same thought. Similarly, there is a question. Body we can touch, we can feel, we can smell, but soul we can't touch, we can't feel, we can't smell. What is soul actually? A simple question to this complex issue, a simple answer to this complex issue is also given by Bhagavan in Bhagavad Gita. He says, Nayanam chintanti shastrani, Nayanam chintanti shastrani, Nayanam dagati pavakaha, Nachayanam kledayanti apo, Na shoshayati maritaha. The soul cannot be destroyed by arrows. It cannot be destroyed by fire. It cannot be destroyed by water. It does not get wafted away in wind. The soul is immortal. Permanence of soul, the impermanence of body. These are all things which come to our mind. Once we understand the simplicity of the complex concepts which Swamiji is trying to teach us through education for total consciousness, and of course the I theory. When I speak of the I theory, see, there was a time before I became governor. I was in the Indian Administrative Service, which some of you know. For the newcomers, I'm introducing myself. For some time, I happened to work in the Ministry of Atomic Energy. I was representing the government of India in CERN, the European Council of Nuclear Research, CERN. When we reached Geneva for the Global Energy Parliament, my batchmate in the IFS, Mr. Lokesh was the Indian ambassador to Switzerland. Correct me, Mira, if I'm wrong. This was there. They heard that a great Swamiji has come from India. And one of the big industrial groups there wanted to meet Swamiji. They deemed it a privilege to meet him. The Hindujas. When the Hinduja heard about this I theory of our Jagadguru, he was so much fascinated. He rang up the scientists of CERN, where I told you I was also there some time back. They were interested to know from Swamiji directly what is the I theory. They found substance in that. They found a new concept in that, a new scientific concept. You know what? When Swamiji speaks about the I theory, it is not something spiritual. It is pure science. There you again, once again proves that, there is no dichotomy between science and spirituality. At the root of it, it's the same. In Greece and Rome, mythology was invented. I would say invented, to use a scientific expression, to teach scientific facts. When scientific facts about the secrets of nature, the complexities of nature is given to people, let it be through stories. So mythology was the conduit through which science was taught to the people. So there is no conflict between myth and science. And Swamiji has combined both in a beautiful combination. And that is why he is respected both by the spiritualists as well as scientists. I'm very happy that our former chairman of ISRO is also here. He's a great name in the field of science and technology. And he's also with us. This Global Energy Parliament has become a confluence of many talents, many different ways of thinking. That is the beauty of this. When we come together, Swamiji has made us come together, keep together, work together. Coming together is beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success. I do not want to take more of your time. I think last time, in one of the GEP conferences, meetings, I told them a blunder which I did, or a discomfiture which I had. I was the district collector of Kollam. I think those from Kollam and Kerala perhaps remember that. Long time back. At that time, we had an interfaith conclave in our district. So many great speakers came from all over the world. One day, it was a turn of Swami Chinmayananda. Swami Chinmayananda is an expert on the Bhagavad Gita. His discourses on Bhagavad Gita and appreciated by millions of people. I know Swamiji, I wanted to listen to his discourse on Bhagavad Gita and pay my respects to him as a local district collector. Then I heard an announcement over the mic. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Swami Chinmayananda's flight has been delayed by 1 hour. The second announcement took me by surprise. In the meantime, our district collector Ananda Bose will speak to you. My God. I had no information that I had to make a speech in such a distinguished gathering. Anyway, having made the announcement, I went there. I asked the organizers, what's the topic? You know the topic given to me? Dialectical materialism and the essence of Indian philosophy. Have you understood anything? I did not understand a thing. Anyway, having made the announcement, I started speaking on dialectical materialism and the essence of Indian philosophy. Half an hour somehow I managed on a topic of which I had no control, no mastery. Then I got a chit. See, when you get a chit during a speech, normally it means please wind up, isn't it? You know what was written in the chit? In the chit it was written, Swamiji's flight has been delayed by 1 more hour. Please speak on. So you can understand my plight. On dialectical materialism and the essence of Indian philosophy. This is scene number 1. Scene number 2. I got the UN selection for global best practice for some of my work which I did in low-cost housing along with our Shankar. So received the award, I went to the UN. Award was given. I was happily staying in my Manhattan hotel when I got a call at midnight. The call was from some old lady in Kerala. At that time, this mobile was not very frequent. So it was a trunk call, lightning call, express call, whatever it is. The lady on the other end asked me, am I speaking to Dr. Bose? I said, yes, ma'am. Dr. Bose, I need your help. Tell me, ma'am, how can I help you? Dr. Bose, I am not able to sleep for the last 3 days. I need your help. I thought she might have thought I'm a medical doctor. So I told, ma'am, I'm not a medical doctor. I know everything about you. When you're a district collector, I know about everything about you. But you alone can help me. I said, in what way can I help you, ma'am? I told you I'm not able to sleep. Then I said, do you have hypertension? Yes, I have hypertension, blood pressure. Are you in the habit of taking sleeping pills? I am in the habit of taking sleeping pills. You might have forgotten to take the sleeping pills in the last 3 days. That's why you're not getting sleep. Then she told me, no, I have taken phenobarbital 500 mg. Then I asked her, ma'am, in what way can I help you? I told you, Dr. Bose, I am not able to sleep. You alone can help me. I said, how? You remember your speech on dialectical materialism and the essence of Indian philosophy. 1 minute after you started your speech, I started sleeping. Can you repeat the speech once again over phone? I do not want the members of the Global Energy Parliament to say that. Therefore, I'm not extending my speech here. I thank you very much. And my reverence to Jagadguru Swami Isha and our bright and brilliant Mira, Thampan, and all others, members who are participating in this Global Energy Parliament. Once again, good wishes and goodwill from the friendly country India to our very friendly country Mauritius, to His Excellency Dharambeer Gokhool. Thank you very much. Wish you the very best. Let us all be together in the same bandwagon as the camp followers of Jagadguru Swami Isha. I wish you the very best. Let fruitful discussions take place from here. Let national governments and international organizations take care of this and for a better world to live in. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Namaskar.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for those deeply inspiring reflections and for inaugurating this session of the 15th Global Energy Parliament. Your words have set a meaningful direction for our deliberations. Thank you, sir. To further illuminate the theme, Inner Heat, Outer Heat, the emotional climate shaping our world, may I now invite Dr. Christophe Dumas, the Minister for Science and Technology, as well as the Director of the GEP Research Center, leading the efforts of applications of the I theory in many sectors. The GEPRC already holds 2 patents and publishes in journals. May I invite Dr. Christophe Dumas to present the theme note.
So thank you, and I'm very pleased and honored to talk about this theme of this very special Global Energy Parliament. And I will start by sharing my screen. So this year, the topic is inner heat, outer heat, and the emotional climate shaping our world. So Swamiji already talked about the inner heat and outer heat, so I won't talk a lot about that, but basically everything is made of energy, and energies as well as outside and inside us. So there is no real separation. And Swamiji already explained that we are made of the 5 elements: solid, liquid, heat, gas, and space. And these 5 elements are inside us as well as outside us. And as Swamiji already explained, fire is a very specific element. When we had some fire into a solid, it changed into a liquid, and a liquid changed into air, and so on. So the fire is the phase change. It is the element which transforms everything. Without fire, there is no chemistry, there is no change, and fire is everywhere. And what about climate system? So I think we should define what is climate, because everybody has his own definition, but actually climate is the interplay of the 5 elements. So of course there is the sun, which is the fire and provide light and heat, but there is also the wind, the air, and there is also the liquid with the ocean, the river, the lakes, and there is also the solid, which is the earth, the ice, and the biosphere. And of course, there is the space around the planet. But as we already said, the 5 elements are also outside. When I'm breathing, the air inside, the air outside, it becomes my air inside. So how the 5 elements outside is affecting myself. So we will start with the outer solid, which is the earth and the soil. And we can see that everything is, so it is a screenshot of different peer-reviewed journal, article in peer-reviewed journal. So in pesticide, when we had pesticide and chemicals inside the soil, actually there is a lot of publication explaining that the farmer become depressive and the rate of suicide is increasing also in the farmer, but also the pesticide creates a lot of problem in the chemicals in the body and creates problem like and disease like cancer, tumor, brain disorder, and that. So we will have one expert talking about that during the second day, so I won't extend too much on that. There is also a lot of problem with endocrine disruption because many pesticides and chemicals are acting as hormone-like, and it creates a lot of problem in fertility, especially with the pregnant woman. Also, it creates a lot of problem in the brain of the fetus, and it's really a big problem right now. Also, the chemicals, the microplastic are everywhere, so it's a big problem right now. The other point is the soil acidification. Because of the rise of the temperature and the drought and the solidification right now, many of the plants are not very well developed in the roots, and the nutrients in the plants are very less right now. And when we eat not sufficient nutrients, it creates also risk of depression. So it also affects the mental health. And there is also some studies showing that the impact of climate change, for example, increase the concentration of arsenic in rice, especially, and it creates also a lot of problem. And it is said that by 2050, the rice won't be good enough for the health, and creates a lot of cancer and liver problem. It is almost the same in the liquid because all the pesticide and chemicals from the soils are going into the water body, in the river, the lake, and the sea. And we can say almost the same things as for the soil. The pesticide and chemicals are creating a lot of cancer and depression and suicide rates. For example, in Sri Lanka, when they decided to ban a lot of GMO, a lot of pesticide, the suicide rates of the farmer decrease dramatically. So it's a very important point. Also for the endocrine disrupting chemicals, it is also the same. There is a lot of problem of fertility right now for the men and for the women also, and it goes also to the breast milk and creates many problems for the development of the fetus. And there is a lot of cases of autism rising now. Also, the ocean acidification, we can say also the same problem as for the soil. Right now, there is a lot of CO2 which is stored in the ocean, and this CO2 increase the acidity of the ocean. And right now, there is a lot of problem with the floor inside the ocean, and also there is no sufficient food for the fish. The heat waves for the fire, it is also a big problem now. So just after, we will have one expert, Dr. Bose, which we will talk about that. So I won't extend too much, but basically during the heat waves, we can see a lot of cardiovascular problem, and also the suicide rate and the mental disease problem are increasing during these heat waves. As Swamiji said, fire is also light, and light is the visual, the sights. And there is right now a lot of problem with the violent media content. It increases very serious violent behavior with adolescent and young adults, and it's rising very fast right now. As the President of Mauritius is saying, there is a lot of problem of violence in the adolescents now. The air also is a main factor of mortality, with cardiovascular mortality and depressive symptom, especially with the size of the particulate matter in air. With very small size, it goes into the brain, and it creates brain disorder. And finally, the space. So quality of space is the sound. So the noise pollution is also a big problem, and it increases the mental health and the stress and the anxiety and the depression. So if you're living nearby a highway, you can understand that very easily. And also the rocket launch is a big problem. You can see on the left side the increase of the number of satellites and rocket launch. So it's totally crazy. Right now, there is 1 million of small particles inside around the Earth. And with the propellant, it creates a huge pollution in the ionosphere and in the atmosphere. For example, the ozone depletion, you can see that. The ozone layer is decreasing very dramatically, and also with the black carbon and NOx and aluminum particle inside the space right now, it increases the radiation on the Earth. So right now we discussed about the effect of the external world into my inner world, and as we said, our chemistry is the emotion, our emotion, and the point is how my emotion is shaping the world, how my emotion is changing outside. Emotion actually is very important point in the decision-making process. So if I am happy, I will act, and if I underestimate the risk, for example, if I am angry, I will act in a destructive way. If I have fear, I will be frozen and not acting. So we will have an expert talking about that on the second day. So I won't extend too much, but there is a lot of study about that. Also, emotion is very contagious. For example, when I spread my emotion into social media, it will go very fast. And there is a lot of studies showing that actually the emotion contagion can be modeled just like contagious disease. So they are showing that the contagious depression is very going fast. And also in some neuroscientists explaining that this sharing emotion is also due to the mirror neurons. So this concept is actually, they show that when I'm thinking something in my brain, some neurons are activating, and in the people in front of myself, in front of me, the same neuron will be activated in their brain. So my emotion and will be shared very fast from one person to another one. So knowing that, as Swamiji said, there is positive energy and negative energy. So I can, as human being, I can be able to discriminate my emotion and share positive emotion instead of negative emotion. So for that, there is different techniques. So in psychology, for example, there is emotion regulation. This is a very common topic, but we can also talk about meditation, but we can also explain that if we can restore our link with the nature, it is also a big factor. For example, many studies show that, for example, the air pollution or the noise pollution effects are very well balanced if we are in contact with a nature just a little bit, because the nature itself has a tendency to balance the 5 elements. So balancing the 5 elements outside is balancing the 5 elements inside me, and I can balance my emotion. So I hope that it gives you an overview of the topic and how we can apply the I theory and the 5 elements. And so thank you for listening. And I hope that this session will be very fruitful.
Thank you, Dr. Christophe Dumas, for that enlightening presentation. May I now invite Dr. Kiran Vyas, Speaker of the Global Energy Parliament and Chair of the GEP Raj Bhavan, to deliver the vote of thanks. Sir, please.
Namaste, Sudinam, Suprabhatam, good day, bonjour. It's a difficult task to thank such dignitaries. I start from my heart with humble pranams to Swami Isa, His Holiness. In fact, our ancient traditions, like the first of the book of knowledge, the Rig Veda, starts with the first word, Agni. That is to say, I adore Agni, the fire. And this is the theme which has been given by our founder of GEP. And certainly he knows that this Agni, this heat, is a transformative force and energy for the world. My humble thanks to him. Then our distinguished guest. He is a head of a nation, His Excellency Dharambeer Gokhool, President of Mauritius, situated in the Indian Ocean, and certainly though small in area, but it has a tremendous value for the future of humanity. His speech was something very profound, not only a statement or, let's say, the chief of the nation speaking, but I would say one of the visionary minds and brains of the future of humanity. His love for his nation, his love for humanity, and all the steps he has taken, not only for his country, but for the surrounding countries, for the environment, and for the human nature to progress, right from Ayush or Ayurveda, or from the social transformations, but also for the brilliant minds of the world. He has some good advices if one could listen to him. Of course, His Excellency Dr. Bose, at present the governor of West Bengal, but he is also the first speaker of GEP. And this, his broad and detailed and depth in the Indian knowledge, as well as the Western philosophies, as well as the poems, poetry, art, dance, music of India, which is the greatest of the soft powers of India, not only the military power, but his love to develop this soft power of India is such, and is an orator. He speaks and he convinces. He speaks and it touches our heart and brain, and we feel like going in his way. My thanks, my friendly adoration towards our governor of Bengal, and especially, and afterwards, the secretarial work or the whole administrative work of GEP, which has started, and of course, Dr. Thampan, then our coordinator, Mira, then on our organizational side, Gauri, all are doing a great work. Our presenting Rohini, she has done an excellent work with her sweet voice to open such a distinguished gathering. And my special thanks to my friend, Dr. Dumas, a scientist, giving us the basic knowledge of the material world in the light of the spirituality. At the same time, the present problems of humanity he has presented, and it is a breathtaking, eye-opening concepts which are very much present and what GEP can give as solutions. And last but not least, all the members, all the people who have come from 20 odd countries, who are the future hope of humanity, I would say, who are the members of GEP, who will be discussing these 2 days and who will be taking their time, their energy, their vision to help the humanity to progress. Thanks to each and every one of you, and I ask your pardon or excuses if I've forgotten anybody, but from my heart, I'm very much touched that this first session of GEP has begun, and merci beaucoup, thanks, and dhanyavad, abar.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, the 15th Global Energy Parliament has now been inaugurated. With this, we come to the end of the inaugural function. I take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for your valuable presence.